Hello YouTube! Today I'm going to show you how to change the engine oil on a 2004 GMC Envoy XL with the optional 5.3 liter V8 engine. I also own a 2006 Envoy with the 4.2 liter engine, which I've made a video on how to do the oil change on that, so make sure to check that out as well. Link in the description below. For those of you who are new to my channel, I do content on my Lincoln MKZ, GMC Envoys, Oldsmobile Aurora, and Tesla Model 3. So check it out on my channel if you're interested and show your support. For this project, you're going to need a jack with stands, 6 quarts of 5W30 oil, oil filter, 13mm socket and ratchet, oil filter removing tool, and a drain pan. This is an older engine with higher mileage, so I prefer using conventional oil instead of synthetic. The preference is up to you. I'm going to be using Lucas 5W30 conventional oil. Start off by jacking up the vehicle from the driver's side, and once you have enough clearance, place a stand underneath the frame. If you have car ramps, that would be much easier too, but this also works just as well. Here is the oil filter and drain plug. You can remove this belly cover if you'd like for more room, but it can be done without the need to remove it. Align the oil drain pan underneath the drain plug area, and now using your 13mm socket and ratchet, loosen the drain plug, then use your hands to loosen the rest of the bolt and remove it. It's almost been a year since we did an oil change on this Envoy. Don't be alarmed, we barely drive this thing. It just sits in the garage or outside. We mostly drive the other 4.2 Envoy because it's a tad bit better with fuel efficiency than this one. This one is getting ready for a trip out to Alaska, so we want to make sure everything is up to date and with fresh oil. Let the oil drain. Once the oil is fully drained, put back the drain plug and tighten it to 18 pound-feet of torque. We probably only put 2,500 kilometers since the last oil change, but take a look at how dark the oil has become. That's why oil change intervals say a specific kilometers, and they also say a specific month as well, whichever comes first. Oil does expire, and this is a great example of that. Now use your oil filter removing tool to loosen the oil filter. Then use your hands to loosen and remove the filter. Make sure you have your oil drain pan below at all times to avoid making a mess. Once all the oil is drained out, it's time to put on the new filter. Clean the filter housing using a rag, then install the new filter. When installing the new filter, make sure to line the filter gasket with some oil. The oil film keeps the gasket in place on the filter. It allows the gasket to slide when first contact is made. Otherwise, a dry rubber gasket can grab on initial contact of the engine when tightening. This is just so the gasket doesn't stick to the block when you have to take it back off to do an oil change. It really doesn't matter if you put old oil or new oil on the rubber gasket. As long as there is some sort of lubricant on it, it should be good to go. After the oil filter is put on, make sure to clean up the surrounding area, as my mechanic is doing so right now. He's used brake cleaner. Brake cleaner does wonders cleaning up oil, so I highly suggest using that as well. Make sure everything is on tight. The drain bolt is to be tightened to 18 pound-feet of torque. And for the oil filter, a good hand tight is all it needs. Here's the new oil filter. It's hard to see because the oil filter is black, but it's in there. Now that the oil filter is on, it's time to fill the engine with oil, and that's 6 quarts of it. Make sure not to overfill. Like I mentioned before, I'm using conventional 5W30 oil. I usually use Mobil 1 products for all my vehicles, but I got a better deal on these Lucas branded oil, so I wanted to try it out. For these older engines, I think conventional is the best. It is true that synthetic oil is thinner than conventional oil and therefore flow more easily. So if there is a spot where oil could leak out in your engine, then synthetic oil is most likely to leak than conventional. And this is the case with my Envoy. There's a slight leak, so I don't want to make it worse by putting in synthetic oil. Most oil change places don't even have conventional oil anymore. They have a synthetic blend. But I'd still go with the conventional. What oil do you folks use on your Envoy? Let me know in the comments down below. Once the oil is filled, close the fill cap, then run the vehicle for about 30 seconds. Then check to see if the oil level is good. If you own one of these Envoys with the 5.3 in it, you'd probably wonder why they put the dipstick in a very inconvenient location. I've peeled my skin off many times trying to take the dipstick out. Anyways, that's just my experience from it. While the vehicle is running, go underneath and check if there's any oil leaks at the drain plug or the oil filter area. That's going to be it for today's video, folks. Hope you guys found it helpful and enjoyed it. See you all next time.